Hi, I'm Terry Likes, and welcome to this edition of Communication Connection. This is a program that focuses on the accomplishments of those affiliated with the Department of Communication. And so we're very pleased today to be joined by Professor Meaghan Gordon. Meaghan teaches in public relations. And Meaghan, thank you for joining us, and happy holidays to you.
Well, thank you for having me. This is exciting.
This program, as I alluded to, we usually talk about the great things that the students are doing or that the faculty have accomplished, involvement with alumni, and the amazing thing is you happen to fit all of those categories as a former student and now a professor within the Department of Communication. So that's a unique distinction. Well,
it is really neat, and honestly, when I was sitting in those desks in McComas maybe 15 years ago, I never thought I would be back teaching as I have been for the past 6 or 7 years. But it is so rewarding to see it come full circle like that.
Well, you tell us a little bit about your background. What initially brought you to Mississippi State in the first place?
Okay, so I grew up in small town Carthage, Mississippi, just a little ways from here, the daughter of 2 Bulldog alumni. My older brother, who's 11 years older than me, was the starting long snapper for Jackie Sherrill's Bulldogs in the early 90s. And so I grew up coming to all the games and going to the away games as well. So when it came time to apply for college, Mississippi State was really my only choice. So it was a dream of mine to be a cheerleader here. So I got to be a co-ed cheerleader for football, men and women's basketball, volleyball. And I came as a Sonny Montgomery scholar with full scholarship to Mississippi State. So it was a no-brainer.
Well, it's great, and we just saw the photo of your brother and then, of course, you as a cheerleader, so that must have been a great experience for you.
Yes, sir.
Where did life take you upon graduation?
Okay, so when I finished with a degree in public relations here, I went on to the University of Alabama to get a master's in advertising and public relations. I just knew I wanted to get a little bit more in-depth training as I figured out really where life was going to take me. From there, I was hired as the Director of Public Relations at the University of West Alabama in Livingston, and served there for about 6 years as the Director of PR, getting to do a variety of things from writing and photography and web design and event planning, and really getting my feet wet in so many different areas while serving in higher ed. So really, I've lived my life in semesters for many years now. Since kindergarten, I feel like our calendar starts in August, not in January like most people. So I've always worked in higher ed, and I really love it, and I found a place there.
Well, there certainly are a lot of advantages, and some of those, as you say, living in semesters, you always build to that final point of final exams, and then you get a break, and you still live on spring breaks and fall break, summer break, things like that. So a lot of perks with working at a university campus, including the many benefits that are affiliated with that. I guess another one is that you're like many. I'm still relatively new here, so I've learned that there are many who have spouses working on campus.
Starkville is a small town, and Mississippi State really fuels everything here. And so my husband Wes is the Director of Planned Giving for the MSU Foundation. So he's tasked with raising tens of millions of dollars every year in estate planning gifts to support scholarships and buildings and things like that. So we really feel like that we are both giving back to the university in our own ways, and it's very rewarding.
Tell us a little bit about your family life. You have a unique family, and you've done some very good things in bringing children into the world and into this community.
Well, thank you. So we have 4 children. Mary Reeves is 11. Murphy is 9, Max is 7, and Mamie is 5. So, of course, they keep us busy all the time, but yeah, our family is kind of conspicuous when you see us around town a little bit. My son, Max, is Ethiopian, and my daughter, Mamie, is Chinese. So we laugh sometimes that, you know, we don't have to go to Disney because, look, we have Epcot in our own house, right, kids? So, yes, being a transracially adopted, you know, blended family definitely makes us stand out a little bit, but it's where we feel the Lord has called us, and we are so blessed to have those kids, and they keep us busy, and they're so much fun.
And it's not an easy process. It's a lengthy process to bring children in from other countries, isn't it?
That's true. It's a lot of paperwork. A lot of paperwork. So Max's adoption was about 2.5 years, and Mamie's was about a year process from China.
Well, let's talk about public relations. It's certainly one of the fastest growing concentrations, not only here at Mississippi State, but around the country. I've talked with others at other schools where enrollment has doubled in certain areas. So you teach in public relations, and you've been one of the benefactors of this growing enrollment.
That's true. I teach public relations writing, and I also teach public relations in organizations, which is our capstone class for our graduating seniors. So I've just seen, so many amazing students come through our program. It's not just a major for people who don't like math and science. We literally have, 4.0 students and people who are so involved around campus, and it is a really great major. When I go around at the beginning of the semester and just kind of ask, like, what are you interested in? It's everything from I want to work in a nonprofit to I want to work in an agency, higher ed. I want to work in the music industry, in sports, in fashion, so many different interests, whether they want to go into governmental relations, to seminary. And our degree really prepares these students for any of those things.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit in that if you're talking about great students, and if you go down the main hallway in McComas Hall, you'll see the photos of scholarship winners over the years. And one of the faculty members pointed you out one day as one of the scholarship winners there on the hallway. So certainly dozens to over hundreds of students listed up there on the wall. So you're living in infamy.
Like I said, it's kind of come full circle. And I know I feel embarrassed when students see that picture. I'm thinking, oh, my hair or my outfit, it's very dated now from 2003 or 4.
I think we can all say things like that as far as looking back upon dated photos. So you must be in teaching now, as you mentioned, for 6 or 7 years, drawing upon some of those experiences you remember as an undergrad through your professional work that you've outlined, and bringing those experiences to the classroom.
That's right. So, like I said, when I was doing PR for the University of West Alabama, so many different elements that we learned came into play, whether that's photography, the web design, the event planning, of course the writing, which is what I love to teach now and reiterate that is such a foundational skill for all of our communication activities. But it's interesting, to bring that back to the students. Like, we can learn it on paper that this is how it goes, but let me give you some real life scenarios on how it doesn't always work that way, when you have to learn the ins and outs of who's really in charge and who really makes the calls, and how you can work effectively wherever life takes you.
You've mentioned a lot of the elements pertaining to public relations and why students are drawn to it. In fact, a lot of times when a student comes in my office and I'm asking them what they'd like to do, they'll often say things like, I want to be an event planner. And a lot of times they think, oh, that means like a wedding planner or a party planner. There's a lot more going on with learning about public relations and actually representing a company or a corporation in a certain way.
That's true. And in the writing classes, and again in the capstone class, we talk so much about brand storytelling and being on message, and how our writing and our voices support these main points that we want to get across for our organization, no matter what field it's in. And so I really think it's so important to stress to the students, again, in my writing class, that's such a foundational skill, and the public speaking, and how all of this is going to build in for whatever path you take with public relations. But it is such an area that allows you to do so many things.
And there are so many people here on campus that work in the Office of Public Affairs for the university. And doing what you do, you must kind of track what they do, because they've had so much success. And it's part of the reason why the enrollment's been growing here at the university. And you can't say that for a lot of our neighboring institutions.
That's
so
right.
A lot of good things are happening, and it's all based on public relations.
Well, Mississippi State is a good, easy product to sell. So I think that goes a long way too. But I do love having in my classroom professionals who work on campus, whether they're social media strategists or in other areas of PR, to tell our students, this is what we do on a day-to-day basis, and this is how we sell the university. It worked for y'all, you're obviously here, so let's take some of these lessons, how we can brand it for other organizations.
I teach more in the broadcast journalism side of things, and social media has certainly changed what journalists do in the field. You mentioned social media. How has it changed the world of public relations?
Well, it's Definitely given us a way to have that two-way communication a lot easier. We talk about, building and maintaining these mutually beneficial relationships, this, book definition of PR. So social media has given us an avenue to do that much easier. Of course, people are impatient and people sometimes hide behind their keyboards, but we definitely, as writing has changed across the different tactics, social media wasn't even around when I was coming through our courses. So we're definitely evolving the curriculum to make sure that our students are ready.
And one of the ways it's evolving is the faculty have been working on a new online degree for public relations. You must be excited about that.
I think that is a very exciting prospect because so many people work in sort of a PR field but don't necessarily have that PR degree behind it, and so that gives them, some of these adult learners, the way to come back and get that credential. And it, just really opens the door for the university to have another source of income and ways to attract more students to our program.
Well, students and faculty working together, you've been here for several years now. What are some of the things that have made you most proud?
Well, teaching the capstone class, I am so proud when I see those seniors who are just days away from graduation giving these client pitches for the things they've worked so hard on, not just, in our one semester of class, but really the culmination of their 4 years of training, that they are so confident that they can do this. They've learned it, they have done it, they're presenting it, and they're ready to go get jobs, internships, graduate school. So that is always, I feel like a proud mama in the back. I'm just clapping and smiling along because at that point my grading is over and it's the client pitch that really decides the winner of the class.
And that's a course called Public Relations Organization. So you say the capstone, the ultimate course that they take before they graduate, which kind of signifies that they're ready. So where are some of how's the job market as far as those graduating and having the credentials in public relations, and where are some of them able to go?
Well, we are seeing students go to graduate school here at Mississippi State and things like public policy or student affairs or getting their MBA. We're seeing people go to Washington, D.C. One of my favorite students is at George Washington University, and we're seeing people go straight into the workforce, of course, in a variety of different areas. Like I said, there's so many, interests and so many avenues you can take with a PR degree that our students really are finding success in so many different areas.
Well, and one of the other things, since we were just mentioning the online degree, which is opening up avenues for many others, is that it broadens what the faculty are able to do as far as their teaching opportunities for students in that regard. So it's great that the faculty, including yourself, are working on so many of these new developments, and all for the benefit of our students. So what's next for Meaghan Gordon? You've accomplished a lot in a few short years, professionally and now academically.
Well, you're the boss, so I hope I'm still teaching in a few short years, but I really love what I do, and I never thought teaching was where I would end up, but it's been such a rewarding experience, and it truly is. I feel, a calling, and I think many teachers on a variety of levels from preschool to college would agree with that. So you'll find me tooling around Starkville in my minivan, dropping kids off places, and hopefully in McComas Hall.
Great. Meaghan, thank you so much for joining us here on Communication Connection.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching Communication Connection. Please join us next time.